I'm going to be ranking all of my teachers from my past school years, starting from kindergarten all the way to the present, which is my junior year. So starting off with my kindergarten teacher. I will not be name dropping anybody, though I am tempted to. But I won't, out of respect, because some of these people were really old, so they could be dead. I don't know. I'm not that old. So I went to kindergarten from 2013 to 2014. So that was like over 10 years ago. That's crazy. That's actually insane. I was like 10 years ago. Over 10 years ago. I feel old. I don't like that. Well, anyway. So I gave that the ranking system is out of 5. I give that teacher 2.5 out of 5 because she was too aggressive. I have like my ratings here. She was too aggressive to be a kinder teacher. She got mad over dumb things and treated us as if we weren't 5 years old. I will have to give her credit where it's due though, because she was very helpful when my mother had cancer. My mother had cancer during the time that I was in kindergarten, and she was very supportive of my mother and of me because I was a child and because, I don't know. But she was very aggressive, truly. And I'm like, we're 5, not 50. And she once got mad at this girl because she had painted toenails. Like, come on, dude. Like, that's so dumb. We're not in prison. Well, actually, school is very much like a prison, but that's a debate for another day. And it's not a debate, it's the truth. So let's move on. First grade, 2014 to 2015. That's also over 10 years ago, which is insane because that makes me feel older. Old. I don't like that. If you hear my dog barking, it probably is a sign that my dad's almost here. Or that she hears things. Because I think my dog has 4th dimensional vision. If anything, I think all dogs have 4th dimensional vision. See, I'm in physics. Do I fail like every single test? Yeah, but he was telling us we'll actually get to my physics teacher soon. Okay, we'll ignore that. So, my first grade, I'm actually so scared that I'm actually going to name drop these people. And I'm low-key tempted to, but I don't think I can do that legally. So, I give her a 3 out of 5. I really don't remember much from first grade. I just remember I was scared of her, and that was because she was really old, and she looked like she was about to break apart. But she was nice, and she was a good teacher. And she saw my writing potential. Don't know where that got me, but she saw something. She sent one of, an assignment I wrote. She sent it to the district, because she was like, this is cool, this is, advanced. I don't know what that got me, because I have a C in my English class. I'm an AP Lang. But that's a conversation for later, because I have a lot of things to say about my English teacher. Second grade. I had 2 teachers in second grade, and this was from 2015 to 2016, which is also almost 10 years ago. Basically, it wasn't a combo class, but it was like a class with 2 teachers. Like each one, I guess they had like a part-time job, so that's why they had 2 teachers. I have no clue, honestly, But the first teacher we had from Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I give her a 4 out of 5. Because she did have some anger issues, and she would yell at us, but I really liked her, and I really liked her husband too, because he would always come like every once a week, and then we'd play fun games, and then he'd give us like food, and I'm a fat ass, so. But she spoke Spanish, so that was a bonus, because communication with my mother was easier. Spanish wasn't perfect, obviously, but communication easier, because always, yeah. The other teacher, I give her a 2 out of 5. I had her Mondays and Fridays, and I dreaded those days a lot because I don't know why, but she gave me a lot of anxiety, and I hated every day she would come. I was like, I don't want to go to school on Mondays or Fridays. She scares me. Please, I just want to go home. Her stories were good, though. She had good stories about her kids, because parents love using their kids' experiences as for, making other people laugh. Third grade, 2016 to 2017. Also, almost 10 years ago. So, that teacher, 5 out of 5. Yeah, she started barking, probably because she heard another dog. I have no clue. So yeah, that teacher, super cool. I loved her. She was so sweet. She really liked me. And maybe because we like both like dogs and I was like smart, you know. Super comforting room. I didn't really feel a lot of anxiety in that room. And you know, at one time, I'm a very quiet person. I'm very shy. So I don't talk a lot. I don't participate a lot. I refuse to. Also, another trauma related thing. But I got interrupted because my phone ran out of storage. My phone has 128 gigabytes of storage and I wasted all of it. I don't like that. Stop barking, Oreo. Okay. So where was I? So yes. Something about participating and getting in trouble for talking, because that's a wow for me, because I was quiet. So, you know, a win is a win. Let's move on. 4th grade. I feel like my dad's here. I don't know how I feel about that. 4th grade. Okay. 2017, 2018. I remember 4th grade. So my teacher, I give her a 3 out of 5 because I didn't really like her. She was mean. She yelled at us a lot. She would always do like the whole, oh, my 500 years of teaching, I have never had a class as horrible as this. And then at the end of the school year, I loved you guys so much. Yeah, I don't even know why I cried when she retired, because we were her last class. And honestly, if we were the reason she was retiring, I would understand, because we were loud. Well, not we, more they, because I was quiet. She was sometimes nice, right? But like the last day of school, super nice. And honestly, if I was a teacher and I was retiring, I would be so mean on the last day of school, because what are they going to do, fire me? Whatever. This is probably why I'm not going to be a teacher. Yeah, I have a lot of memories in that class. Weird stuff. But, you know, she was okay. She wasn't that great. Didn't really like her. Actually, funny story. It wasn't the first day of school. It was the first week of school. We were going over the supplies, and then she gets mad at me because I bring college ruled paper instead of wide ruled paper, because apparently that was a norm for elementary schools. And she was like, go put it in your backpack. I go sit down for some weird reason. Then I'm like, okay, I'll go put it in my backpack. I leave the classroom. I'm putting it in my backpack. She comes outside the door and starts yelling at me, saying, you can't go out of the classroom without permission. You literally told me to put the paper in my backpack. What do you mean I'm not allowed to go out with permission? And I got so scared, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, it'll never happen again. Yeah, thanks a lot for instilling fear and hatred for you and me. So yeah, maybe I don't like you so much because of that. First impressions always matter. And you know, you're making me hate you and fear you, and I don't like you. And also your last name's Cats, and I didn't really like cats back then. Oopsie, name dropped. I'm so sorry, I can't believe I name dropped her. Loki? Don't care. She's probably dead or something. I'm sorry, that was insensitive. 5th grade, 2018, 2019. I had all 3 teachers at one point that were the 5th grade teachers, because we did like the rotation things, you know, preparing for middle school or whatever. And obviously some people I had. Let's start off. One of the teachers I had for 2 weeks, because I was originally supposed to be in her class, and I was there for like 2 weeks. There were rumors that she was like the worst, most horrid teacher ever. She was like the Grinch, which is crazy because her last name rhymes with Grinch. If you watch this video, just know I'm talking about you. So I give her a 1 out of 5 because she was absolutely horrible. She would yell at us for no reason. Like, one person would do something that would make her mad and she'd yell at the whole classroom. And I'm pretty sure she was racist because okay, story time. One of the other teachers, she had a 4th, 5th grade combo class, but that couldn't work out with like the curriculum, whatever it's called. So she had to send all of her 4th graders to other 4th grade classes, leaving her class kind of half empty. So she needed 5th graders from other classes. So each class had 5, and she explained to me, because, you know, teachers have a lot of trust in me, you know? But, anyways, so she told me that it was like a lottery thing. They were picked randomly. And it made sense. Do you want to know why it made sense? Because for the other teacher, I really wish I could name them. Let's name her. Teacher 3. Teacher 2 told me, teacher 1 is the really bad one. Teacher 2 told me, and then teacher 3, the people that went to our class, one of them was her favorite student. And I knew because I have a knack for these things. And I could tell that it was her favorite student. And she came to my class, to the teacher number 2's class. And spoiler alert, yeah, I went to teacher number 2's class too. But see, all of the kids that went from teacher 1's class to teacher 2's class were Hispanic. Coincidence? I think not. My dad's here. Okay, we're back in a different area because my dad's eating. I won't lie to you guys, I don't remember where I was. Something about my 5th grade. And how my teacher was racist. So yeah, she was totally racist. Anyways, 1 out of 5 because she was a horrible person. And I'm glad she doesn't teach anymore. Teacher number 2, on the other hand, not that much of an upgrade. 2 out of 5. You know, a little better. Actually, much better. Because she did yell all the time. And then she would spit when she yelled. But she was really nice to me. Really nice to me. Yeah. Didn't really believe in me. But also did at the same time. Weird stuff. You know, being quiet always has its benefits, but it also doesn't. Because sometimes people want you to talk, and then sometimes they don't want you to talk. Sometimes teachers really like me because I don't talk, and sometimes they don't like me because I don't talk. Bipolar, am I right? Actually, those are just different tastes. Whatever. Yeah. Teacher number 3. Not that much better. 2.5 out of 5. Completely overrated. I remember being like, people were like, oh, teacher number 3 is so great. She's so sweet. She's so nice. No, she's not. I only had this lady for math because she was like teaching like the higher level of math or whatever. I suck at math now. And that's also because of another teacher that we'll get to soon. So, see, we once all failed the test. Except for one girl, because, you know, there's always that one smart person that ruins it for everyone. But see, she proceeded to yell at us for it. If we all fail, is it not her fault for not being able to teach the subject well? Why blame it on us? We only did what you taught us. If we failed, that means you didn't teach us well, so why are you yelling at us? Teachers, am I right? You know, they don't get paid enough and they take it out on you. 6th grade. This is where everything started going downhill for me. So, I had 2 teachers that year. Technically, I had more, but we don't count the teachers I had for like once a week. This was from 2019 to 2020. So, you know, I was in 6th grade when COVID happened. My main teacher, he was a guy. This is the first time I'd ever had a male as a teacher. 5 out of 5. Super great, super funny, sarcastic in a good way. If he got mad at one student, he would only take it out on that one student, and then he would proceed to treat us like normal because we didn't do anything wrong. He was strict but chill at the same time, and one of my favorite teachers ever. And really fun stories, really great guy. We loved him. The second teacher, this was a girl. 2 out of 5, a lady. I had her for like the language arts section, which again, advanced. Still am, but technically not really because I have C. She obviously picked favorites. Obviously, a little bit racist. Just a tad bit. But she was nice to me because, again, I never did anything wrong. But yeah. Don't remember much. 7th grade was a fever dream. And honestly, I don't really know what a fever dream means. So, but I hear people use that. So I'm going to say it was a fever dream. I don't actually remember much of 7th grade. 2020, 2021. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so my math teacher, I was in math honors, and then I got a C, and then they dropped me to regular math. And that's where my life started going downhill. He was, so 2 out of 5 because he was really weird. I hated his class, and every time I was in his class, well, this was like mainly online school, but I also went occasionally, like the whole hybrid program they made at my school, my district. Every time I was there, I felt cold. It felt really cold, and I didn't like it. He was really weird and creepy, and he made really weird remarks, and, I don't know. Male teachers kind of scare me now. Not all, just most of them. My PE teacher. Did I really only have one PE teacher that year? I don't know. I had one PE teacher for 2 trimesters. And then for the other trimester was a different guy. So, 1 out of 5 because I don't remember much. But he was really strict and annoying, and he treated us like we were in military school. I'm like, dude, we're 12. Didn't really like him. My world history teacher, also honors, you know, just saying. I'm not an AP anything now for history, because, no. 4 out of 5. Did I say that for my PE teacher was 1 out of 5? I think I did. Okay, 4 out of 5 for my history teacher. Don't really remember what we learned. I just remember that it was really a boring class, but he was super nice and super patient because he had spent so many years being an elementary school teacher. He developed a sense of patience. Super cool. Did you know he went to school with Barack Obama? That's so cool. Anyways, he didn't really know him, but he had a friend who was friends with Barack. That's cool. Yeah. My English teacher, because, also honors, 3 out of 5, because I don't remember much about her. I think she was nice, but I'm not sure. It's like something I've erased from my memory. I do remember her saying that she was going to leave because she was going to try to become a children's book author, but then I searched her up and she was still teaching at an elementary school. So I guess that dream got crushed. It's difficult being an art student. I should know I am one. My science teacher. Well, we had this lady who ended up being my 8th grade science teacher, but I had her for like 2 weeks, and I was online, so I don't really remember much. But this lady, 3.5 out of 5. Very neutral. I liked her. She was nice. She had a copy of one of my projects, so that's cool. Really nice, but like nothing special, My intro to drama teacher, 2.5 out of 5. He was weird, but his class was fine. I had an A+ the entire trimester. And you wouldn't think that from someone who was incredibly quiet, but I love acting. So, I think I read somewhere, and this is actually true for me because I act because I have severe anxiety, and when I act, I get to hide behind that character. And it's not me on that stage. It's not me on that camera. It's someone else. Whatever. This teacher, really weird, really creepy, really disgusting. And as far as I know, there's been rumors of him throwing staplers at people, at his students, and shoving girls against fences. So, walls, I don't care. My intro to film teacher, 2 out of 5, because I hated his class even though I love film, and I'm pretty sure he didn't like me because I didn't really know what I was doing. And one time, I didn't know class had ended, this was on Zoom, and because I was watching YouTube, I was the only one left. And he was, there for, 10 minutes, and I realized, and I was like, oh, darn, and I left. That was embarrassing. Anyway, my other PE teacher that I had for that one trimester, 1 out of 5. I did not like his class, I did not like him, and I'm pretty sure he didn't like me. Intro to Spanish. You'd think that because I speak Spanish, I wouldn't have to take that, but it was an easy class. Weird, because A- participation, 3 out of 5, because I do not really understand why they hire people who don't really speak Spanish, because him, instead of saying prueba, he would say puebla. So I'm like, okay. And pronunciation stuff, I know, but it was an okay class. He was chill. Did I say 3 out of 5? I think I did. 8th grade. I remember this very well. 2021 to 2022. My math teacher, 5 out of 5. She was super sweet, super nice. Her class was so easy. She truly cared about her students. The students were really annoying though and really mean to her, but she was so sweet. She would give us food during the state testing because she knew that there were students who would come to school without eating, and she would give us pretzels, Jolly Ranchers, Goldfish, and then she had huge bags of Jolly Ranchers, and then she'd give you some, and then if you asked for grape, she'd give you extra, and I always ask her for grape, because honestly, they don't taste that bad, and yeah. She really liked me because I was quiet. She was one of the teachers that was grateful for me being quiet, so my English teacher right now, you should take notes and be grateful that I'm quiet, that I don't participate. My English 8 honors teacher was a guy, and that was the first and only time so far that I've had a male English teacher. 5 out of 5. Was he a good teacher? Not really, but he was definitely my favorite teacher that year. Really fun class. He really cared about me. Sure, that he sent me, he reported me to the counselor after I wrote a really depressing narrative that actually happened to me. Yeah, but, who cares, because that shows he cares. Did I want him to do that? Not really. Did it help me? Not really. Sort of. I don't know. Didn't end up in therapy until 3 years later. He gave me student of the trimester. That's so cool. And did he maybe do it because he knew I was a student aide for my foods teacher, and I gave him free food. It doesn't matter. My foods teacher, who also was my student aide teacher, 4 out of 5, because she sometimes forgot how to pronounce my name, and I didn't really like that. She was, she was nice. A little bit strict, but not really. But she chose me to be her student aide, even though she's like, yeah, I saw how you helped people. I don't remember doing that, but thanks. My science teacher. So this was a lady who was like my teacher in 7th grade for like, okay, yeah, you get the story. 3.5 out of 5. She was okay. She was nice. She was just really tired and really angry. And our class was really annoying. She really hated us. And she once told us she took a break because she did not want to be around us. And honestly, girl, I get it, but thanks. Yeah. My U.S. history honors, 1 out of 5. I hate that man with a burning passion, and I have a whole rant I could give about him, but I don't have time. So, he's a creep, a pervert, and I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. He was so annoying and sarcastic in a bad way, and he definitely knew I didn't like him. He knew I got a bad vibe from him. He knew, because I saw the way he acted around girls, and I always stared at him every time he was around a woman. And I remember he noticed one time because I was staring at him from across the room. He came over and he's like, so, how's it going, sir? Hi. I'm like, I don't know, how's it going? I hated him. And, yeah. One time, I hated this man so much, and I didn't trust him, got a bad vibe, and that was later confirmed. Sort of, not really. He's still teaching, but he shouldn't be, because he's a creep. One time, I was not facing him, and I felt shoulders grab me to move me out of the way, and I flinched, and my knuckles went like this, because I was about to punch him. He goes, oh, just excuse me. I'm like, can't you just say, excuse me, and not try to physically move me out of the way? I don't know. Anyway. Health. 3 out of 5, because I really don't remember much about the class. She was nice. One time I got sick for like 3 days, and she was the only one who said, nice to have you back. If anything, the history teacher that I just mentioned was like, was it COVID? I was like, I don't know. Was it COVID? Because, if it was COVID, I wouldn't be here. But, maybe it was COVID. Maybe I should take down my mask and cough on you. I have a burning hatred for that man. My PE teacher, who I had for, I had him for 1 trimester. 1 out of 5, he was really annoying. I hated his class, and I hated everything he made us do. My other PE teacher was a lady. 2 out of 5. She was nice. She never bothered to learn my name. Almost called me Sriracha. She called me Sorari. Where'd you get the extra letters from? She was super obsessed with, like, the annoying guys, like the sporty cats. And I was like, ew, it's giving you in high school vibes. My industrial tech teacher, 1 out of 5. I hated his class. It was horrible. I got a C in that class. It completely ruined my GPA. He was kind of creepy. He was annoying, and I didn't like him. My freshman year, 2022, 2023. This is when, it started getting worse. My English 1 honors/IB class, 3 out of 5. See, she was really passive-aggressive, but I liked her. Ow, I scratched myself. Sometimes she would teach things, like, too long. We spent, like, almost an entire semester on the help, She didn't explain very well, or I was just half asleep because it was my first period. Very sweet, and I'm grateful I had her as a teacher, but I don't know. Weird stuff. I had mixed feelings about her. My drama 1 teacher, 5 out of 5. He's got a scary face, but he's super nice, super honest, super brutal, but, like, honest, and really chill. Super nice, super funny, sarcastic. He cares about his students, even though sometimes he can be a little harsh, but it's because he cares, and I love that class. That's actually the first on stage in front of people really acting experience I had, and I loved it. My PE teacher, 3 out of 5. He was chill and funny, a little bit strict, a little bit racist. Hated the workouts and literally everything else, but he was an okay teacher, a little bit overrated because my brother had him. He was like, oh, this guy's so cool, and I was like, no, he's not. My Spanish for Spanish speakers class, I gave her a 4 out of 5 at that time during my freshman year, because she had some moments where you kind of just don't really like her, but she was super funny, super sweet, super honest. Really felt connected to the teacher in the class, and we had some really, really great times. We were her favorite class, that's for sure. Algebra 1, 3 out of 5. Super petty guy. How do you throw a temper tantrum? Really good teacher, though. Really, really good teacher. And, sometimes you just couldn't help but love him. Super nice guy. My biology teacher, 2 out of 5. I hate him. I hate his class. Never bothered to learn my name. His tests were impossible. I practically failed every single one of his tests, yet I got a B in the class. He sucked at teaching. He had anger issues. No one liked him. I don't even think his wife liked him, and maybe that's why he was so angry. And he knew no one liked him, and it made him mad. He needed serious help. Like, dude, you have severe anger issues, and, he never learned how to pronounce my name yet. On my report card, he's like, pleasure to have in class. You don't even know how to pronounce my name, dude. Sophomore year, 2023 to 2024. Spanish for Spanish speakers 2. Same teacher, 5 out of 5. Second year on her class was super fun. We had a lot of great laughs. sometimes she would just talk, and, we love those talks. Super sweet and helpful, and, she's someone I hold very dear to my heart. Occasionally, she had her bad days, but, don't we all? My chemistry teacher, 3 out of 5. He's a little creepy, a little weird, but he was okay. Good teacher. Towards the end of the year, he was like, you guys can learn on your own. Here's some slideshows and then puzzles. Weird sense of humor. Sometimes he could be chill, sometimes he'd let us watch a movie, like Star Wars, and then sometimes he'd let me sit with my friends. And then one time we had to talk about Star Wars. And we were talking about Star Wars, and I was like, that's cool. And then he told me I did something wrong on the worksheet, and I was like, you couldn't have started that. Drama 2, different teacher, this is a girl. 3.5 out of 5. You learn to love her or tolerate her. Whichever one it is, you kind of learn to do that at the end of the year. So, like, what's the point? Really petty, very demanding, but I'm like, I get it, you're a theater kid, girl. And also our class really sucked. Super millennial in the most blonde way. But cool teacher. She didn't like us, like I said. But it was mainly because of some kids who I can't name because of legal reasons. And, but jock, short jock, skinny gay jock, Hispanic jock who's probably smokes weed, and, really annoying white pick-me girl. Yeah, that makes sense. My world history teacher, 6 out of 5. I love that man. Yeah, he gave a lot of homework, but who cares? Super sweet guy, super good at his job, really cared about his job, really cared about his students. That's a rare find. Sometimes they care about their job but not their students. Sometimes they care about their students but not their job. Sometimes they don't care about either. But super great guy. He really wanted us to care about history. Super sweet. He took us on a field trip. I love him. He's like the best teacher I've ever had in my entire life. Really tall, so like when you talk to him, he was an extra in a volleyball movie. He was also the volleyball coach. I love him. He's so sweet. I love him. My English teacher, honors IB, 1 out of 5. She lacked a lot of empathy, and something really tragic happened to someone that was once in that class, and she acted like it never happened. Super passive-aggressive, horrible person, horrible teacher, impossible person to deal with. I hated the class. I hated everything about it. Her husband's a creep. Like, actually, a pedophile. And I feel bad for her. But, whatever. Geometry honors / IB. Negative 100 out of 5. Worst teacher I've ever had in my entire life. Sucked at teaching, complained about everything, his job, his paycheck, his wife, his children, his students. Once told us he hates everyone equally. He's such a horrible person, and I don't wish anything bad against him, but I wouldn't feel sorry if something happened to him. He was like, I don't get paid enough to do this. I have to hang out with my children. My wife is pregnant. He treated us like it was our fault his wife was pregnant. I don't care. Like, oh. And then he worked at this really, I'm already such a horrible man. And he made me hate math. I failed this class, but I got a D. Then we're not really failing, but failing. That class made me absolutely lose confidence in being able to do math properly. And now I don't know how to do math anymore. And I hate the man. I hate the man. I hate the man. I hope he gets fired. I hate the man. And, such a horrid person, and sometimes I see him standing outside of the bathroom because they put him on bathroom duty, and every time I see him, I give him the biggest scowl I can give him. I give him the big side eye. I hate the man, I hate the man, I hate the man, and he's so short, and maybe that's why he's so bitter, because he's a short, balding, ugly man. Junior year. Currently. These are the current ratings that I have so far. So my AP Lang teacher right now is at a 2.5 out of 5 because she seemed nice at first, but I got a bad vibe from her, and I know what I got. I know. She's super passive-aggressive. I hate passive-aggressive people. Just choose a side. You're either passive or you're aggressive. Class makes me uncomfortable, and maybe it's because it's a 0 period, but hopefully it'll get better. That's what I wrote then. It hasn't gotten better. It's gotten worse. The whole standing by my desk and saying, some people in this class need to talk more. But when I was absent, and I actually got the courage to do something that was really hard for me and ask you to tell me what I missed, you go, let me pull it up, and then proceed to never talk to me again for the rest of the class. Thank you so much for your help. This is why I don't participate. This is why I don't talk in your class. This is why I hate your class. I hate everyone in that class except for a couple people. And then she told us that she actually when she grades our essays, she also does it based off of how much she likes us. Thanks a lot. Maybe that's why I always get C's in your class, because you don't actually like me. Believe the stereotypes that English teachers grade based on how much they like you, not on how good you are at English. And maybe that's why people lied to me and told me I was a gifted student. Whatever. My AP Spanish. 3 out of 5. It's actually getting really better. She's okay. She's super chill, you know. She's getting better. Fun times in her class. Obviously not like my old Spanish teacher, but I like her. My U.S. history teacher, 3.5 out of 5. You know, he's okay. He's not my last history teacher. He randomly calls on people, which kind of brings up my anxiety, but normally I give good answers. He kind of doesn't teach a lot of the stuff that's on the test, though, and that's kind of annoying. My film class, I'm in film. The, special film program that I have to watch for. This is the same teacher who was my drama 1 teacher. 5 out of 5. You know, he's cool. Love him. Still a little scared of him, but he talks a lot, though, and sometimes I really have to pee. Whatever. My algebra 2 teacher, 5 out of 5. He's so cool. He's so chill. He's so nice. He took time to learn our faces and our names. I really like his class. He's really nice, and I really like him. He's cool. He's cool. He's super cool. My physics class, 2 out of 5. If anything, I'm actually going to give it a 1 out of 5. He needs a life. He's too chill in a way that you give off lifeless bag of bone vibes. You know, I feel bad for him, you know? But he's like, guys, I'm such a bad person. I don't care, dude. He's such a horrible teacher, too. And then the other day, we were taking a test, and he had found out people were, cheating. Also, it's not my fault people treat you like you're dumb. And the reason people treat you like you're dumb is because you let them treat you like that. You let them treat you like a fool. He's like, people cheated on the last test. No, actually, let me make my most accurate impression. People were caught cheating on the last test, which is unfortunate. So you guys aren't allowed to have note cards anymore. Oh well, you guys can do whatever you want with them. Okay, I get it. People cheated on the test. You're not a very good teacher either, but whatever. I'm doing the test, and then someone calls, and it's my mother, because she's there to pick me up. I had told her I had a test, but I guess she forgot. And then he's like, your mom's here to pick you up. And I'm like, what? I'm taking a test. I'm freaking out, and this man isn't helping. And I was like, do you want me to leave the test? And he goes, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You're the teacher. You're supposed to know. This is your job. They pay you for this. They don't pay me to be here. Ugh, I hate teachers who do that. They aggravate me. So I handled it like the mature person because someone had to be the mature person in the situation. So I was like, can I go outside and can I call my mom and tell her to wait for me? He's like, okay. I was like, I wanted to strangle the man. So I go outside, I call my mom. I'm like, Mommy, he's really mad. Please wait for me. She's like, okay. I finished the test. I got a 65 out of 100 on the test. Honestly, the best score I've gotten this semester, but whatever. And without a note card. And normally with a note card, I get 40s. So, who cares? But yeah, and, yeah, horrible guy, horrible teacher. I don't know what is it with my last period of the day, teachers being in high school, being absolute a-holes. Come on, dude, get it together, man. It's not my fault you don't get paid enough, that your wife probably hates you, that you hate your life, that you hate your job, that you hate your family, that you hate yourself. It is not my fault. Don't take it out on your teaching. I didn't do anything. I'm just trying to survive. Anyways, that's it. So, maybe we'll update this when I graduate my senior year if I make it. So, thank you for being here with me. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.